Hello, everybody. Taxes Man here. I hope that you guys are all having a spectacular day. If you guys would please give this video a thumbs up if you guys do enjoy it. Subscribe, of course, if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all. Make sure you guys hit the bell notification button so you guys do not miss out on future videos or streams here on the channel. If you guys would please head over to Twitch, follow me there at Douglas447 to stream there at least once a week, whether it's for Halo, Battlefield, Destiny, Call of Duty, or anything else you guys suggest for me to stream over there. And as always, we're going to be talking positives and negatives, talking about Hook. 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 Hook from 1991. The film is rated PG, and it's about 2 hours and 15 minutes long. The film cast includes the legends like magic of... I'm sorry. includes legends like Maggie Smith as Wendy, Darling, Don S. Davis, who's famous, of course, for Stargate, and my camera is tilted. There, that's fixed for the time being. Don S. Davis is, of course, famous for General Hammond and Stargate. We also have Bob Hoskins as Mr. Smee, Dustin Hoffman as Captain Hook, and Robin Williams as Peter Pan, along with Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell. The film is a retelling of the classic Peter Pan versus Hook story. The film focuses on Peter Banning / Peter Pan. As a lawyer, he ends up having to go back to Neverland as an adult and meet up with the Lost Boys, and he soon realizes that, of course, he is Peter Pan and that he left all of his past friends and enemies for a family in the other world. And that he ends up having to defeat Hook once and for all, and he has to set things in Neverland back into a sort of norm. The film, I think, kind of is weird for the first reason, because while it is a film that is trying to center on an adult Peter Pan, it also spends a lot of time on Hook. Now, you might be thinking, well, no shit, that's the title of the film. If you go back and you rewatch the 1953 Disney Peter Pan film, that film really doesn't focus on Hook. It makes Hook very one-dimensional. It makes Hook just a very basic villain. And through the decades, they have tried to make Hook a very sympathetic villain. A villain that is just kind of misunderstood. The best example I could think of is the recent live-action 101 Dalmatians ripoff called Cruella de Vil. I think that film came in like 2018. They have been trying to do that with Hook for decades, okay? Another example of Hook trying to become a sympathetic villain would be Hook in the TV show Once Upon a Time. And for that, I enjoyed it because you understood why, in that show, for example, why Hook is a villain and why he was doing the things he was doing. They tried to do that in this film, not to the best degree, but it is kind of interesting that they do focus a lot of the screen time and the story on Hook and why he hates Pan so much. Now, the film also can be enjoyed without any knowledge of Peter Pan or Hook. If you have absolutely zero understanding of the character of Peter Pan or Hook or Neverland whatsoever, you can watch this film in its total isolation, still enjoy it, still understand the dynamics, the characters, and the plots. Now, it is obviously going to be a lot more intriguing and a lot more interesting if you have seen and watched and read other Peter Pan versus Hook-like material, especially the 1953 Peter Pan film from Disney. This film, while it is quote-unquote a Peter Pan origin story, it also functions as a soft sequel to the 1953 Peter Pan film as well. Now, moving on, you might not know this, but one of the main producers for this film is Kathleen Kennedy. I was doing my research for this review, and I'm just like, oh, God. Kathleen Kennedy was a producer in this film. The film was directed by Steven Spielberg. Let those two names sink into your brain for a moment. The person responsible for the travesty of the Star Wars sequel trilogy and most of everything else afterwards, was a producer in this film. Steven Spielberg. Jurassic Park. Jaws. Back to the Future. Should I go on? Okay. I think we all know who Steven Spielberg is. You can tell for the first 15 to 30 minutes that both of these people clashed on set. Because, for one thing, it takes forever. Like I said, this movie is 2 hours and 15 minutes long. It takes 1/4 of the runtime, easily, for the plot to get going. For the characters to have a purpose to exist and have motivations that you care about. Also, it feels like the very first 30 minutes or so, they try to make Wendy the focus of the film instead of Peter Pan or Hook. I wonder why. Oh, wait, that's right. Women are supposed to be more superior than men, Kathleen Kennedy, and we need female empowerment? And this is in 1991. Okay? Not when Disney bought Star Wars back in the late 2010s. Oh my gosh. Just so many clashes of concepts. You can see that. This film has tons of themes and ideas and concepts scattered throughout this entire film's runtime. It's amazing that it's only 2 hours and 15 minutes long. There are so many things that could have been from this film. Nothing is solidly presented. Everything's just like, hey, here's an idea. It's going to last 5 seconds. Moving on. It's really bad. While this film offers eye candy special effects and elaborate sets, I really never felt emotionally invested. I know a lot of people regard Hook as probably one of the best Peter Pan films ever, and probably that's why it's one of the only ones that you can get on 4K. But I just didn't care. I could care less who lived or died in this film. I didn't even care how the film ended, and I still don't care how this film ends. I'm happy that I've got it as part of my 4K collection. But I rarely ever think about rewatching this film unless I'm watching it with my mom, who thinks it's one of the best movies ever. I think it's highly overrated. Now, I don't think it's a horrible film. I don't think it's a 1 or a 2. I've seen a lot of worse movies. Okay, I've seen a lot worse than Hook, but I don't think this is up there with 8, 9, and 10. The film is just overfilled with adult themes and drama, and instead of it focusing on Pan, Hook, The Lost Boys, and Neverland, and those things being the forefront, it just doesn't capture the magic of other Peter Pan films that I have seen. Now, I've seen some other Peter Pan films that Disney has put out recently. Travesties. This is not as bad. This is a cute, family-friendly, magical adventure for the most part. It's a decent rewatch. It's just filled with too much drama, and it's also 45 minutes way too long. There is so much in this film that could have been cut out. Like I said, there's a clash constantly happening of concepts and themes and ideas, and the film really just doesn't have a direction. It really takes too long to get to the meat of the story and the meat of the plot. So with that, I'm going to give Hook a 5 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you guys on the next video or stream. Bye, guys.